Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of Inside BMW Group Classic. Today it's something special. I brought Mark.
Hi there.
Mark is also working for BMW Group Classic. He's a true motorsport enthusiast, as you can see from his shirt already. We decided to tell you something about a true motorsport icon, which is the Batmobile, the E9, the 3.0 CSL, however you call it.
This is the very first from A to Z developed race car of BMW Motorsport back in 1973.
It was also one of the first to have this really iconic M colors, right?
Yeah, the BMW M stripes are created back in 1973. The red stands for racing, the blue stands for BMW. The purple in between is the combination, so it's quite easy to explain, yeah.
And you might have known some different legend that this red stands for Texaco. Is this right?
There have been negotiations with Texaco being a sponsor in 1973. These negotiations failed. In the end, I would say the red is inspired by Texaco, but I cannot confirm that is the Texaco red.
Okay, but except the M colors, this was a car that needed to be homologated, right?
Yeah, 1,000 pieces should be produced for being homologated for Group 2 racing back then. We reached that number and we were allowed to race from 73 on. In the first racing season of this car, we gained the European Touring Car Championship with Toyn Hesemans. So from the very beginning on, this car was very successful.
Yes, and one reason is in fact the engine. And if I take a small look at it, there is no engine inside. We used the winter time to put out the engine and to get it into our engine workshop and to get a full revision so we can race it in the next season. Mark, this is not a true one, right?
Yeah, in 2015 we decided to build up a replica car of the famous CSL racing coupe. To take care of the most original ones, we prefer to use this car for communication issues or racetrack action.
We do have the original one, it's in the museum. There's one thing I can point out, and this is this toe point. This is a 2000s generation. This wasn't there on the original car. You won't recognize it when it passes you with over 200 kph on the racetrack. The year 2021 marks the 50th birthday of the CSL and the CSI. Mark, and design-wise, it was a first as well.
It's the very first BMW production car which combines 4 iconic design elements which are typical for BMW. At the front you see the double lights, the so-called 4-eye face, the famous sickle line at the side of the car, of course in the C-pillar the famous Hofmeister King, and in a whole this Coupé silhouette is nowadays still modern and was founded back then.
We said before 1,000 cars need to be homologated. These were 3 evolution steps. We started with 180 horsepower carburetor version up to this 3.2 liter with 206 horsepower. And this is in fact the rarest one.
For me personally, it's also the most iconic because of the whole aerodynamic kit and wings. It's simply the Batmobile. There have been 110 units with exactly this wing. But the more special version was fitted with a 3rd strut in the middle, and of this version only 57 units were produced. So
this was the latest, I guess, the latest version and also the rarest. So if you're lucky, you see a Batmobile on the road. And if you see one with a 3-strut wing, then you're even more lucky because it's just 57 ever built and we don't know how many still exist. So Mark, one last thing. You would buy this one for close to 40,000 Deutschmarks. So you get the top range car with all those lightweight parts, and then you could add another option.
Back then the customer was able to order the so-called Städtepaket. The Städtepaket, which means translated city package, removed all the lightweight parts. You have again power windows, you have again thicker glass, you have less alloy parts. Originally the L stands for lightweight, but if you ordered the Städtepaket, it was more like luxury.
You buy this car and then you make it heavy again, which was strange, but hey, our customer wished for, so we did this. If you have more questions about the E9, the Batmobile and everything else, just write them in the comments and I will forward them to Mark. Thank you for watching. Make sure to tune in for another episode. Make sure to subscribe and see you again. Bye.
Bye.